Day 2, at my mom's birthday, everything seemed normal. Then my 10-year-old called me on the phone. Get out now. What happened? I asked. Her voice shook. Get out of the house. I obeyed. It was the last time I ever stepped foot in my parents' home. 3 months later, they were begging me to forgive them. I even paid for their all-inclusive vacation to Portugal 2 summers ago. They still talk about it like it was the highlight of their lives. So when the check stopped, their lifestyle took a hit. Quiet but noticeable. They weren't happy. Not openly, but in the little things. The way my mom sighed when she looked at the grocery bill. The way my dad brought up the water bill twice a week. The way they suddenly forgot to add me to the family group chat. And the house was packed. My sister and her husband lived there, too, along with their 2 toddlers who had the energy of caffeinated raccoons and zero volume control. They lived there basically rentree. My parents doted on them, watched them, babysat, bragged. So I thought if she can stay here with her circus, I can stay too, right? But it didn't feel right. From day 1, I noticed the shift. My daughter's drawings didn't stay on the fridge for more than a day. Her plate was cleared before she finished. Once she got scolded for talking too much when all she'd done was laugh at a cartoon. There were stares. Not from everyone, but enough. She noticed it too. Of course, she did. She stopped spending time downstairs. She clung to me more. She asked if we could have our own place soon. And I told her we would, that this was just temporary, that family was supposed to help. I really believed that until the day she called me and told me to get out of the house. We sat in the car, parked under a sad little tree in a quiet lot. My hands were on the wheel, but I wasn't going anywhere. I finally spoke. Can you tell me what happened? She didn't hesitate. Not this time. Grandma and Grandpa and Aunt, they don't want me there. She said they were talking. I was in the bathroom. They didn't know I could hear. I stared ahead. Let her talk. They said they're going to send me back to Daddy. That I'd be better off. That they're planning something. She said it like it was just information. Weather. Nothing personal. I don't want to go, she added, still looking straight out the window. I don't want to be near him. I didn't say anything. She had overheard a plan to hand her back to the man I'd taken her away from. And I hadn't seen a thing. When I was a kid, I thought betrayal would be louder, like someone yelling surprise with a knife in their hand. Turns out it was quieter. Sometimes it hid in bathroom tiles and murmured through thin walls. Sometimes it was whispered by the people who raised you. I looked at her. They said, what? She didn't blink. They're planning to make you lose me. They were talking in the kitchen. I was in the bathroom. They didn't know. I waited, braced. They said you'd lose custody anyway. That they could help it happen faster. That Daddy would take better care of me, and if I went back to him, then you'd go back to your old job. Start helping them again. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. They said you'd be better off. She paused. They said they could plant something in your stuff. Drugs maybe, so it looks bad. And then call child services. Silence. They want to frame me. She just nodded. Her lips were pressed so tight together. They'd gone white. And you're sure? They said it, Mom. They said it all. That I'm too much. That I never stopped talking. That the house is full and it used to be so nice. They said you're not useful anymore. And that he was always the better parent. I felt something shift. Not snap, not shatter, just shift, she said. So I packed what I could. There's 2. I left. I called you. I looked down at her small backpack in the footwell. She remembered to grab my charger. I nearly lost it right there. Instead, I turned the key and drove. I didn't go back. Not for clothes, not for answers, not even for my toothbrush. I drove straight to Chris's house. Chris and I have been friends since we were 10. Never dated, never tried. Just one of those rare human unicorns. A platonic male best friend who shows up, keeps quiet, and always has extra toothpaste. He opened the door with a coffee in hand and one sock on. I need to crash here, I said. He looked at me, then at my daughter, and stepped aside without asking questions. That's why he's still in my life. That night, we slept on his couch. Freya curled up beside me, too quiet for a kid. I stared at the ceiling, counting ceiling fan rotations, and trying not to scream. My phone buzzed 17 times. I didn't check it once. The next morning, I tried to be normal. I brushed my hair, found socks that almost matched, packed my daughter's lunch, and added a napkin with a bad doodle of a cat. I kissed her cheek and said, "You're brave." She nodded. No smile, just solid bravery. We walked to school and they were there. Of course they were. My parents standing by the gate like the mafia except with tote bags and that fake polite tension people were when they're about to say something awful. My daughter froze. "It's okay." I said, "Go in. I've got this." She ran off. I faced the enemy. "Where have you been?" My mom snapped. No good morning. No hug. No apology. "I think you already know." I said, "We've been calling all night. You disappeared with her." That was my dad. He looked more offended than concerned. "I didn't disappear," I said. "I removed my daughter from a place where people were plotting to destroy my life." My mom blinked. Excuse me. I didn't flinch. She heard you in the kitchen while you were laying out your little custody sabotage plan. That's ridiculous, she said quickly. She must have misunderstood. Did she misunderstand the part where you were going to plant drugs on me? Her mouth opened, closed. A flush crept up her neck. We were talking hypotheticals, she mumbled. You've been stressed. You quit your job. The custody fight is going nowhere. You've been trying? I cut in. I've been trying while you've been busy plotting my collapse because your spa weekends dried up. That's not fair. My dad said, we've helped you. I laughed. Actually laughed. You housed me after I paid your bills for years. After I booked you 2 a week in Korea and bought your damn espresso machine. My mom's eyes narrowed. This is about money now. This is about loyalty, I said. Which you sold for a better chance at holidays. We just wanted what's best for her, my dad said. You're fighting all the time. He was always so good with her. He threw a bottle at the wall while she was in the room. I snapped. He wasn't a father. He was a threat. And you knew that. My mom folded her arms. You're emotional. You're blowing this out of I'm done. I said, I'm done letting you twist this. You tried to wreck my custody case. You tried to erase me as a mother so you could go back to being comfortable. There was silence. I looked between them. You want comfort? You'll have it. Starting now. You'll never hear from me again. Not a cent, not a visit, not another ounce of me. Don't be dramatic, my dad said. I turned. You haven't seen dramatic. And I walked away. That night, Chris found me in his kitchen, arms wrapped around a mug of tea I hadn't touched. You okay? He asked gently. No, I said. But at least I know where I stand. My daughter came out in her pajamas, holding the bad cat doodle napkin in her hand. She didn't say anything, just sat next to me and leaned her head on my arm. I didn't cry, not because I wasn't devastated, but because I was too exhausted to. I'd lost my parents. Or maybe I just finally admitted they were never really mine to lose. What I hadn't lost was sitting next to me, and I'd burn the whole damn world down before I let anyone take her again. You'd think after everything that had already happened, I would have learned to relax when things got quiet. But I didn't. Silence, I found, is just betrayal. Taking a breath. It had been weeks since we'd heard from my parents. No messages, no threats, no weird cousin reaching out to check on us, just stillness. Nathan called it peace. I called it suspicious. Freya was doing better slowly, sleeping again, eating again. She'd started drawing these odd little comic strips of wolves fighting snakes. And I didn't ask questions because they all ended with the wolf winning and curling up in a den with her cub. That was good enough for me. I was still staying at Nathan's. I say still like I had some lease lined up and just hadn't signed it yet. Now you can watch the second part by pressing share and more.